Always topical, never relevant. This is the Cardboard News Network.
Good evening and welcome to the Cardboard News Network. I'm Chazz Redhead.
And I am Luke Rollason. These are the headlines. Conservative personality Rush Limbaugh has passed away after a long battle with social progress.
On Thursday, NASA's Perseverance rover landed on Mars. It sent the following information. You pricks, there's nothing here. Not even a Tesco Metro.
Facebook has banned news from being shared in Australia. Unfortunately, Australians haven't been able to find out yet.
The Louvre is undergoing long overdue refurbishments. And quite right too. Have you seen the paintings in there? They're old as fuck.
A rare painting by Winston Churchill is up for sale. As an artist, Churchill painted on the beaches, he painted on the landing grounds, and he never surrendered.
The Queen has agreed that Prince Harry should lose his royal patronages. Her Majesty said he must leave her monarchies, gun and badge with HMHR.
Chazz, welcome back to the Cardboard News Network.
It's a pleasure. We have been away for a bit, haven't we?
We've been away for 2 weeks, Chazz. 2 weeks. What's that all about?
Well, a lot's changed since then.
Things have changed. The world's moved on. And we've got a hell of a lot of news to catch up on.
So much
but
news.
Don't worry.
So much news that it's a news rollover. There's double the amount of news.
There's double the amount of news, which means we could win big in this stream. That's what I've heard. We could win really big. Now, I think it's important that we address the elephant in the room, which is free speech,
Right.
Chazz. Free speech. I've got really into it recently.
Okay, good, because you're a
Free
journalist.
speech. There's loads of it going all around. And from what I understand, it's all about making sure people who've not been able to be heard can be. Am I wrong?
That's the long and the short of it, yes. But
And we've not been heard for 2 whole ruddy weeks, Chazz. So I've got triple the amount of microphones for today's episode, just to make sure that I am triple heard. Can you hear me, Chazz?
loud and clear.
Is this working? Well, not only have I done this, but I've got a very special treat. I know we sacked Kit in the last episode.
That
That's
we
a little
did.
bit of exposition. We sacked Kit in the last episode, but I've got really interested in the possibility of a government contract, Chazz. And the
Right.
government are as hot and into free speech as I am.
Are they?
And so they've appointed us. Oh dear, that's worrying, isn't it? Hold on. The illusion's broken. They've appointed us a impartiality SAR. Chazz, we've got a new man on the team. His name's Martin Willis.
You
and
didn't
is gonna be
clear this
holding us
with
to
me.
account. So what?
You didn't clear this with me, and who the hell is Martin Willis?
You can't clear a surprise with a surprise.
Jesus!
Hello.
Hello, Martin.
Hello. Hi.
Uh,
Martin Willis.
yes. I believe you're
You
the
from
new...
the government, Martin.
Yes. I'm the government's impartiality SAR. For balance, some people also claim that I'm not the impartiality SAR. My husband, he calls me the impartiality star. Other reports indicate that Jeremy divorced me in 2018.
Right.
But as thank you, as Luke says there, thank you. My name is Martin Willis. Although in fairness, other names I have been called, Matthew Williams, Mark, is it? Mike Stevens, and Fartin Willies. Is that funny? Now, why am
I think to
why am I
represent
here?
balance, Luke will find it funny and I won't.
That's how we'll balance you out that way, and together we'll form a triangle, the best shape in all the kingdom.
It's a
my
weird way to
favourite.
describe an oblong.
It's a very strong shape. The triangle. Now, why am I here? Well, I'll tell you why. People in this country are sick of being told facts by specialists, especially when those facts don't sound right. Now, for example, the other day I heard a historian talk about the centuries of colonization and slavery enacted by this country. Now, I just don't think it could have all been that bad. And I've got a C in GCSE history. So what is my role? Well, for example, here with the Cardboard News Network, or your closest competitor, Breitbart, my job is to ensure that every time there is a debate or you invite someone on here, that there's a balanced perspective. So for example, say you have a revered and highly experienced climate scientist to talk about global warming.
Looking forward to that.
Yes, well, I will be making sure that you also include the opposing viewpoint. In this case, that would be a thick idiot with no relevant experience. Or if James Delingpole isn't available, any bigot with a pre-existing platform will do.
I've made some notes ready for the debates.
Very good, very good. More recently, of course, I have been a bit more busy. Part of my job is to ensure, for example, that every time there's a discussion about racism, God, awful, that we make sure to employ white interviewers to ask people of colour to justify the racist actions of white people. Some people say that's problematic. Yeah.
Yes.
But I say, who would you rather watch talk about the inhumanity of the whaling industry?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Would you rather watch an angry fisherman that has zero respect for all living creatures, or a whale?
Well, whales can't talk, so
Good TV though.
right. Okay.
Now my job is somewhat
kind of
busier at this
ideas.
moment, as I work with universities to ensure that there's balanced platforming. Now, it may surprise you to know that out of over 62,000 requests by students for external speakers in a single year, 53 were rejected by the student union or university, which is under 0.1%. But for balance, yes, I have personally employed Toby Young to ensure that figure is blown completely out of proportion.
Toby Young didn't even get into university on merit.
No, well, neither did any of us, darling. So let's not concern ourselves too much with the facts. Sorry, I must apologise. These glasses do hurt my eyes. My optician said that I have perfect vision and don't need spectacles, but a second opinion said that my eyesight had some issues. Well, my 3-year-old niece said that I look funny. I just read between the lines, you know. Terrible headaches, but
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Martin. I guess we'll be checking in with you periodically to see if we're remaining an impartial, honest, and informative news network.
So
If
I've
you
got
must,
to contradict what Chazz says. Is that it? I've got to contradict everything Chazz says.
oh well, I mean,
All right, fuck you, Martin. See you later.
No, we don't have to do that.
See you.
My pleasure.
I hope I never see you again.
All right. Well, Luke, I'm going
I
to
like
go
him.
do.
I like the government, Chazz.
Sure.
That's my position, and I'm sticking with it.
I'm going to deal with the things I can trust, and that is charts.
Oh yeah, you get
3,
on charts.
2,
I'm
1.
going to
Let's
arrange
chart.
these. Oh, okay.
We've got a lot of charts to get through today. The first chart is all about mad gamer skills. Now, a recent scientific investigation has discovered that pigs can play video games. In fact, scientists have trained 4 pigs to play video games using their snouts to operate the joysticks. Now, I have tried to compare that to other animals with snouts. So if we're using pigs as the baseline for which animals with snouts have mad gamer skills, we've got second lowest, moles. They do have the snouts, but they don't have the eyesight. Dogs, colorblind. Not all video games are inclusive yet. They should be. Elephants, too heavy, but still pretty dexterous with the trunk, so that makes sense. And dead last, the goblin head shark. Wouldn't be able to play video games because video games are on land and it doesn't breathe air. In fact, I believe we have an expert gamer pig who is currently playing through the latest title now. Let's cut over to him. Hello, gamer pig. You having a nice time? Are you having a nice time, Gamer Pig? Is that a fun game? Would you like rate it out of something? That's three truffles out of 10, I believe, is the measuring metric. All right, Pig, thank you very much. Maybe more from the pig later. Let's go on to our next chart. Now, this is a particularly personal one for me. This is time in lockdown measured against brand new comedy characters that I have attempted over the course of lockdown. We're starting in October here, and as you can see, our time in lockdown is small, but the characters attempted is already starting at a high level. And as you can see, they're both increasing to the point where we hit today in February, and they have reached an equal footing. Now, if we take that characters created and attempted metric and measure it against something else, for example, my partner's patience, we can see direct contradictions with each other. So, as you can see, as the characters attempted have gone up, my partner's patience has been steadily decreasing over the course of the lockdown. But which ones does she like and which ones does she dislike? Well, we have a chart for that. Now, the most disliked character is, of course, Mrs. Dunbar, who is an angry Scottish teacher. We have Big Day Bob. He's not as unpopular, but he is a recent creation. Big Day Bob runs a seedy casino. At 12%, we have the Colonel. That's just me doing a Colonel Sanders voice. We have TED Talk Man as the most popular, which is a man giving a TED Talk about how bees aren't real. We have the Butler, who is constantly
shopping your material, Chaz.
Who is constantly walking around asking if he would like to run someone a bath. And sort of in the middle at 13% is Luigi, who is a man who has bought too much pasta and has 2 slotted spoons. Interesting. More on that later. Now, on to our next chart. Now, as some of you may know, we did fire Kit Sullivan in our last episode. So here is a breakdown of what Kit has been up to since then. As you can see, there's an even split, 28% crying and 28% crying loudly. We have 12% staring out a window, 15% just driving. You know when you get in your car and you just drive? 9% playing Worms. That's the popular video game Worms. Of course, he has named the enemy Worms after me and Luke. And 8% Googling revenge. I hope that doesn't lead to anything. And finally, we have a chart about some of the densest things in the universe. We start with the densest element on the periodic table, which is osmium. But considerably denser than that is a black hole. You would think a black hole is the densest thing, but it is in fact a neutron star. But even that isn't the densest thing. According to my statistics, the densest thing is Luke Rollason. Quite a revelation. I don't know how that's going to play out, but until then, Luke, back to you.
I guess that's why I got so many people in my orbit, Chaz. I just pull them towards me and I can't get away, Chaz. I suppose that's why. I'm alone, aren't I, Chaz? You're not on screen.
No.
This is my fill section. Yes. Oh, yes. Money. This is the bit I was looking forward to. And I've thought of things to say. Ha ha ha. Lot of love for you in the chat at the moment, Chaz. LEBW says, it's nice when you smile, Chaz. So perhaps we'll try and get Chaz grinning away with those little sweet corn teeth of his and get him giggling with some funny jokes. Let edit Heleni. Lead it the Lenny. I don't know how to say it. Lead it Heleni. First time watching the stream. Thank you very much for joining. And they say that my Twitter is grey. I imagine they meant to say great or grail. Leedy, no worries. Lead it Leany. Lead it the Leany. Lead it the... Oh, we could just keep this dialogue up. It's pinging! Just have this all night. But we can't. We've got to do the news. People are asking where Kit is, and all I can tell you is hopefully a long, long way from here and not showing up in this stream. Because that would be a twist. Anyway, I think it's about time I start with our first bit of news to hopefully impress Martin and get us that juicy government cash that they're not going to give to the BBC anymore. No sirree. Now, here's a top feature that I think is worth talking about. Dinosaurs. Where did they go? If you've been looking, you'll notice they're not in your local shop and they're not queuing for church. Dinosaurs are dead, in the ground as far below as you can get with a shovel. But no further. Why? Who knows? But scientists have found out using investigations. I'm going to talk to an excellent piece of character work, even better than Mrs. Dunbar, I've heard. And here they are, Mr. Gazpacho, is that right?
Yes, hello, Luke. It is a pleasure to be here on your program. My name is Gazpacho von Dutch, PhD. I am an expert in science and all sciencey things. And I am here to talk to you about the meteor that took out the dinosaurs.
Ooh, an expert in science. Martin's not going to like this. Oh, but okay, Mr. Gazpacho.
Dr. Gazpacho, please.
Oh, Dr. Gazpacho, of course, wearing what all doctors wear, a zip-up turtleneck.
Well, it is very cold here in the lab. We are doing some experiments on what happens to productivity when you lower the temperature. We are currently at 6 degrees.
Oh, cool.
Science!
Well, I reckon it's time you kicked off with this shit-hot presentation.
Yes, you were curious about the meteor which took out the dinosaurs. Well, we at the lab here have taken the liberty of making a reconstruction of that fateful time using only the best science. So let's put that up now if we can. So as you can see here, this is the meteor that is heading towards the Earth and will soon destroy the dinosaurs. But first, it does have to stop for petrol. So it will stop for petrol and fill up. It is currently £3.50 per light year, which is quite frankly daylight robbery. But you know, you try finding a gas station in the middle of space. And then it continues its journey with a full up tank and probably a grab bag of Maltesers. And it continues through the galaxy until it bumps into yet another meteor that it went to school with. Perhaps they had some tension that they haven't resolved yet, but they won't mention it in this one. Just awkward, hi, how are yous? Yes, what are you doing? Bye-bye. They might meet up again on Bumble in 3 years' time. We do not know. Then the meteor continues its journey, but it realizes it is lost. So it goes to the nearest wormhole and asks the worm which direction the Earth is in. And then the worm's all like, oh, it's fucking back there, mate. So then the meteor has to turn around and return back to the Earth, as you can see. But it has to also avoid the vacuum of space, you understand. It doesn't want to get sucked into the vacuum of space. And it heads directly towards the Earth. There is one brontosaurus who looks up and is like, oh, fucking hell, what's that all about? Then the meteor collides with the Earth, and then there is a big explosion, and all of a sudden there is nothingness except the birds and the crocodiles. Oh
my God, just the birds and the crocodiles? That's not a world I want to live in, if I'm honest, Dr. Gazpacho.
Well, it's the one we've got.
Gee whiz, a whole 3 characters in that narrative. It really zipped, as far as I'm concerned. But what with a giant hand? What was that doing there?
We spoke with your impartiality man, Martin, and he said we needed to add the hand of God into the reconstruction.
That's important. That is actually, LEBW called it. She said, is that God's hand? And we're getting a bit of hype for God's hand. So this government contract is already paying off, if you ask me, with our audience.
If you will excuse me, Luke, it is time for my scheduled bathroom break. We are also running an experiment on whether scheduled bathroom breaks increase productivity. So I will just be going. Thank you.
Okay, bye, Mr. Gazpacho.
Oh boy, there I go. Into the toilet. There I go. Public toilet. Yes, it's important that we use our public services. Doing a poo. Do 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 do.
Whoa, Dr. Gazpacho, watch out!
Who's that stamping outside? Someone's in here. Someone's in here. Oh no! Oh no! There's shit everywhere. Oh, it's in my eyes. Oh, the shit's in my eyes. Oh, I'm being eaten. I'm being eaten. Somebody help me. Wait, what the hell? So, all of that was a video game being played by the pig. That's 6 truffles out of 10. All right. Well, a big thank you to our Seamless. A big thank you to our guest, Dr. Gazpacho von Dutch.
People are asking Chazz about Dr. Gazpacho. People have asked, is that Chazz?
Well,
and I said, no, that's Dr. Gazpacho.
Yeah, it's self. No further explanation is needed.
Although I feel like he may be a distant relative of your Werner Herzog impression.
I don't think that's possible, Luke.
We all remember that from season 2,
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
He was a very handsome doctor, that I will admit.
I'm going to say an even handsomer pig, Chazz, if I can.
Oh, yes, there is an even handsomer pig.
If that's not going to get us into trouble with the government.
Well, one would hope not. One was.
Speaking
of which, we haven't heard from Martin in a while. Maybe we've got away with it and he shan't be bothering us anymore. Oh! Hello, Martin.
Hello. Yep.
How do
Yes.
you do?
For balance, fucking ugly pig.
Oh, controversial.
I would also, well, now I appreciate Dr. Gazpacho. Now, sure, he's a scientist. But that theory of the dinosaurs' demise is actually somewhat contested. So, in the name of balance, we've got a few other theories here about the cause of the deaths of the dinosaurs. So some claim suicide pact.
Right.
We've got a number. Now this is very interesting. Some think it was a civil war. I don't quite know what the teams were as such, but it's an interesting theory, I think we can say. A number of people claiming it was Tory cuts. Tory cuts to the services,
cut
the
the dinosaurs.
dinosaur
I think you might have
services.
missed an N out of that.
The Tories cut the
Yes, there were some cuts to services, and it led to the demise of the dinosaurs.
Martin,
Now
can I
some
ask a
others,
question? What services were dinosaurs providing?
youth centres and the like. Now others, of course, suspect the dinosaurs survived and are now British royalty. I've read one very interesting book about the demise of the dinosaurs. Well, really, it just thinks it was farts. And finally, a very, very fascinating scientist suggests that it was hemorrhoids, or as they were known then, Tyrannosaurus.
Luke, in the purposes of balance, you need to laugh.
I'm willing to do the laughter if nobody else will.
Oh my God, I'm sure there's loads of people at home who are giggling away at that.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Martin. So a swing and the miss on our first report. So we're going to have to do a little bit better. Luckily,
We've got to get him on side. We've got to get him on side.
Got to get him on side. But luckily, Luke, I think I've got just the person.
Oh!
This is a bit of a get for the Cardboard News Network. It is roving reporter Kitty Chalmers. Kitty, welcome to the Cardboard News Network.
Hello.
How are you doing, Kitty? How is everything?
I'm
Are you struggling,
Yeah.
Kitty?
yeah.
Should we just play the VT?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you could, do you want to? Like, do you think you want to?
Yeah, well, yes, that's why you're here. You've filed a report for the Cardboard News Network.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Good. Good to see you.
Well, it's lovely to see
Kitty?
you too.
You're called Kitty, but you're not a cat.
Luke, I don't have time to explain this to you again.
Yeah, that's a good observation. Are we friends?
I think play the GT.
I think I'll need to play the VT and then we'll circle back to this.
Then you might understand.
Yeah, can we?
I have a great recipe to show you. Have you got the recipe for that? Recipe, food. These are just some of the brilliant ways that you can start conversations without talking about coronavirus. A slightly out-of-date New York Times interview suggested that we've forgotten how to speak to each other. And a bit like not mentioning politics on Christmas Day, we're still struggling to not talk about the dreaded sea. My name's Kitty Kitty Chalmers, and I've been struggling to do the same. I'm a personable, upbeat, working class news presenter with blue hair, and I'm here to make you feel comfortable and you feel a bit better about your life. It suggests in this article, slightly out of date, April 2019, that when conversation does come up about coronavirus, you steer it back to how the person is adjusting to the new normal. So, for example, if someone says, "Oh, the numbers seem really high," you say, "How are you coping with that? You must be really fucking scared." It also suggests you talking about something new that you've learned. For example, you could talk about how you've learned not to talk about coronavirus. It says here, "I'm learning how to do X. Could you help me?" Feels a bit vague. In this article, it suggests you talk about people's current obsessions. It suggests here Tiger King. I wouldn't suggest bringing up Tiger King because it seems like you've been in a hole for the past 6 months, but maybe you could talk about something else that's relevant. For example, whether anyone's got their vaccine or not. It says in this article not to be afraid of your feelings and to talk about them, and perhaps that's a really good alternative to talking about the big C. I, for one, have been struggling with lots of overwhelming emotions. Mainly, why do I keep up this persona? I don't think it's honouring me. I don't think it's serving me. And also, when will I get the jab? When will I get the jab? When will I get the jab? It says a major thing is to avoid comparison. So, for example, you don't say things like, "You think you've got it bad, I live in a shed." And I wouldn't say, "You think you got it bad, I live with my parents and I'm 40. When are you getting your jab? Which jab are you getting? You're getting the Oxford. Here's some great conversation starters that they suggest. Are you binge watching anything good right now? What are you watching on telly? TV's good, isn't it? How do you turn your TV on? Have you ever not found your remote? Have you been out for a walk or a bike ride? Have you ever been on a tandem bike? Have you ever been knocked over by your bike? Have you ever experienced road rage on your bike? Have you ever got a puncture? Wheel. How are your parents, siblings, kids? Oh, how are your parents, siblings, kids? They're separate, not how are your parents, siblings, kids. How are you dressing for the office or at home right now? Have you been working on any projects? Projects? Have you been working on any projects? I thought I might struggle to talk to you guys in the studio today, but I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm sure the conversation will be flowing. Recipes? One way to avoid the impending doom is, of course, to ask what people really think of you. So, for example, you might just ask direct, "What do you think of me? Would you care if I died? What's up with you never texting me back? getting the jab?
Well,
Telly is great, isn't it?
don't slip straight into it. Come on.
Telly is great. Have you been binge watching any good telly recently?
I've been who me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been watching some incredible things, mainly a lot of documentaries about the current situation.
Like Tiger King.
Yes, I watched Tiger King, but as I said in my report, yeah, Tiger King was the last thing that I watched that wasn't connected to the current situation.
Right. So judging from this article and your research, people are finding small talk very difficult. Is that right?
Yes. How are you today?
When are you getting your jab?
I'm probably quite late.
When are you getting what? You don't trust it?
No,
Don't believe in it?
I'm young and I've never been to hospital.
You're not that young, Chazz.
I turned 30 in April, you douchebag.
There's always people who are younger than you. Babies are born every day, Chazz.
I know babies are born every day. You don't need to tell me babies are born every day. I think about those babies because of the bloody pandemic. Oh, no, I've thought of it.
None of those babies have seen Tiger King.
No, I've thought about it.
I've got nothing to say to babies. What would you recommend when it comes to talking to babies, Kat?
Well, I've got some information at the back of me. I'd say things like, where are you most afraid? I might ask them.
Where are you most afraid?
When do you feel most afraid? I'd say to the babies. And I'd say to them, if you could change one thing about the world, what would you change?
Well, considering they're babies, the answer will be, where am I most afraid? Everywhere. Everything is new and scares me. If you could change one thing, what would you change? I want to go back in.
It sounds like you were a sad baby, Chazz.
I was a fat baby, not a sad baby.
I was a happy little baby.
I was a 10-pound baby.
Every day I learned a new word. My parents paid way more than that for me.
And if you could change the world when you were a baby, how would you change it?
I don't know. I'd make Beast Wars real.
I would have made Chazz a happier baby. That's what I would have
God's
done.
sake.
But it would have been too late. He'd already be a little toddler. 30 years old, Chazz. Here it comes, the choo-choo train of progress.
You know you're going to turn 30 at some point too, right?
Never. I'm Benjamin Buttons.
It's Benjamin Button, singular.
I'm Benjamin White Chocolate Button. That's me. Look, you got to keep young, Chazz. You got to keep young. And the best thing to keep young is to ask yourself, where do I feel most afraid? Yeah?
Yeah.
Where do I feel most afraid? This conversation right now.
You should go somewhere every day that scares you.
Well,
that's what they say.
Well, luckily for you, I am not that easily scared. Jesus!
Oh!
Hi. Yeah, I've got a couple of concerns. Sorry to have interrupted.
Why have they put his video over my face? What?
Did I say that? Is that me saying that?
No, I'm behind you. No, not physically. I'll just go on.
I've got just a couple of pointers. Kitty, is it?
Yes. Hello. When
Yes.
are you having the jab?
Well, I mean, I've had it, of course. Oh, the COVID one?
Yes.
No, gosh, no. No. Too many reports on the side of not. You know, I don't want to get gargantuanism or some sort of illness, so I won't be having the jab. But I've got a few other topics of conversation that I think you could well do with adding to your
Brilliant. Yeah,
your list
go ahead.
there.
I was really nervous about seeing you guys, but I think it's just really flowing.
Yeah. No, that's yes.
Just for ease of conversation.
Chazz,
well,
you're blocked.
I'm sorry, did I say that?
No, it's me saying that.
Martin, what are you saying?
For balance, I may or may not be saying a lot of things, but I would like to just proffer a few more topics that I think you should avoid, just for balance. I think it's what the public wants. The weather. Fucking sick of people talking about the weather, if I'm honest. It's just a personal gripe. Family. Not just your family. Anyone with family or who has had family. Don't touch the fuckers personally. I don't like it. The present.
Being present.
Just the either, frankly. Gifts or now. Politics.
Yeah.
You don't like talking about politics?
No, I think it's very important that we don't talk about politics.
You work in politics. What do you do all day?
Isn't that your job?
Yes. It's very well. I didn't say I worked hard, did I?
It'd be hard to do it, wouldn't
I'm
it?
busy. Sure. I'm not doing anything.
I'm warning you, Martin. LEBW, which is CNN's resident weather girl, has said it's war because you said that you hate the fucking weather.
First of all, Luke, weather person.
Did I say that?
First of all, Chazz, weather.
Oh,
Do you
well.
mean weather?
Just one for balance. Ellie, is it? Ellie, go fuck yourself.
Ellie says weather bitch, but we shouldn't try and do this thing where we get into a dialogue because they're like 8 seconds behind us or something. But anyway, it's
For balance, Luke, I think we should get in a fucking discussion with Ellie. Actually, I think it sounds quite pertinent.
Oh, well, maybe you could do that on your own time, but we have many more acts, and I'm sure that we'll find a segment that you will enjoy. For sure. I promise you that before the end of the show.
That seems excessively confident.
For the purposes
Speaking
of
of
balance,
weather-
I'm not overly confident myself. Thank you, Martin, and thank you, Kitty Chalmers. Always a pleasure, and I wish you the
Always
best
a
of luck.
pleasure. Just when are you getting the jab? And send me any recipes that you've been cooking, and let me know how your family is. And nice weather here.
My family at Tiger King.
No, okay, bye, everyone.
Bye, Kitty.
So, Luke, back to some actual news.
Yes.
I-
Weather is an English show me and my girlfriend did.
What?
Weather. It's a show that me and my girlfriend did together.
How's bragging camp going?
I went sledding a few weeks ago.
Great. So, I saw a news story about how there was an old mansion that had been overrun with moths, and to combat the moths, a swarm of wasps was released into the mansion to do battle with the moths. I have been working with some of the team here at the Cardboard News Network, and we have put together part 1 of what will be a 17-part mini-series. Enjoy.
My dearest Mirabelle, since our last correspondence, the war has grown exponentially more horrible. We are all exhausted from the consistent nocturnal attacks by the Moth Army, and we have yet to rout them from their position in the upstairs wardrobe. I can only hope that this will be over soon so that once again I may be at your side to pollinate flowers and ruin picnics. Yours, with all my love, A. Wasp.
Well, hard-hitting stuff. And that entire mini-series will be available as a box set.
This is good balance because we had some good stuff and some rubbish stuff now. So that should hopefully make Martin happy.
Which stuff is the rubbish stuff?
I think it's time for us to hear a little bit more about things that are happening outside in the world, Chazz. There's so much stuff that we've barely even covered. Oh, if only Kit were here.
Well, we fired Kit, and I'm glad we did.
Chazz, you drove him away. Yes, that's right. You drove him away. First you spoiled him, and then you drove him away like a boy in a car that you were driving.
None of that makes sense as a metaphor or simile, and I think you know that.
It wasn't stuff we were planning on saying, but I thought it would sound nice.
Can you control yourself for 1 second and stop peeing in sinks, metaphorically? And let's introduce our next guest.
Yes, let's introduce our next guest. Ada Player, back from the very first episode. Hello, Ada.
Hello, Ada.
Hello. Yes, I have some news for you today.
That's exactly what we wanted.
We have news from the scientists that they have discovered and made a discovery.
Which scientists? Is this our handsome scientist from earlier, or?
Yes.
He's dead, Chazz. He's dead in the ground with the dinosaurs that he loved so well.
Hey now, let's get to the news. The news that is happening. The news that is going on today is that there have been dolphins that are discovered by scientists to have things in common with humans. Dolphins have been discovered to be curious. They have been discovered to be sociable. I'm sociable. I am curious. It's resonating with the world right now. It's really big.
Right, and what does this have to do with the news? Sorry, what did...
It's the science.
This is resonating, Chazz.
They're resonating with the world. Let's play the content.
Oh, all right, if we can roll that.
Who am I but a dolphin? 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 Sociable and curious. They're sociable and curious. Sociable, curious. Dolphin.
Ada. Couple of
Yes?
follow-up questions.
Mm-hmm.
First one being, what the fuck are you playing at?
Thank you, Chazz. I spent 3 days working on this record, and it's been a discovery. It's been a challenge. But thank you so much for letting me air my first ever song.
Okay, but that's
on
not
the channel.
that's not journalism, though, is it? That's music.
No, exactly. It's not journalism. It's art. It's creativity.
Okay, but we are a news
it's
net.
expression.
That's resonating, Chazz. What that is? That's resonating.
I don't think it is resonating.
This is culture, Chazz. This is music. This
Yeah,
is
but
dance.
this is supposed to be a news channel. We're not creating new content.
You do a
We're
little
reporting on existing
dance. You always do
stories.
little dances on this channel, like this little dance that you do when you say "roll the VT."
That's me signaling to the crew to roll the VT. That's not a dance.
But
Stop
it's your
doing
other
it.
hand
Stop
pressing
it,
You
both
can't-
of you.
You can't do it with two hands, Chazz.
Stop
Prove
it.
Say "roll the VT" and do two hands, Chazz.
I'm not gonna say roll the VT.
Well, Ada, there's some chat going on in the chat, as you might expect. People are saying, "What's this got to do with pigs?" Because it's been let slip that there might be a pig song on its way, and people are angry that there's no pig song yet. Is it true there's going to be a pig song?
I can make a pig song happen. I can do anything.
Well,
The crowd are,
I'm not gonna roll it, so-
absolutely ferocious. They're
Okay.
hungry for the pig.
I'll make you a pig song. Give me 5 seconds.
okay. What's that? Don't you roll that. Don't you roll that fucking VT. I swear to God. It's playing. Luke, you're not on camera yet. Just give me a signal when you're ready and I'll put you on camera.
Watch out, little pigs. This is gonna be a joke.
Pig!
What? Like in general?
You think that being a
Yeah.
pig is easy? It's not.
Pig!
Just take a look
Okay,
at our
3, 2,
friends.
1.
Watch out, pigs. This is gonna be a big one. Let me tell you a story. A story of a pig. A pig who was worried, but no more. Because
Is that 10 examples out of 10
pig.
Pig!
for this?
Pig! Pig!
This little pig.
Absurd. No,
went to market.
Pig!
I've had it.
Pig!
Get it off. Cut away.
This
Cut
little
away. Thank God that's over. Ada, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Thank you.
No, it's not a
Thank you.
compliment.
I spent 3 weeks working on this one.
It does
It's
not
been a
look like
hard
it.
endeavor.
I'll be frank with you.
Thank you.
Stop saying. I'm not complimenting you. This is legitimately bad work.
I can only dream of where this is going to be taking me. Thank you
Nowhere.
so
It's going to be
much for
taking
your
you nowhere.
Thank you.
Luke, do you have anything to say?
Well, Ada, dream big, and the sky was the limit.
None of that made any sense. Ada, you've wasted our time. Thank you so much.
Wasted our time.
Thank
10
you so
troubles
much.
out of 10, Chaz.
Oh, for God's sake! Hello,
Very
Martin.
good.
What?
Very good. Very, very good, actually. Really, when you think about it, very good.
That's the problem, Chaz. You didn't think about it.
Have a little think about it, Chazz.
It,
Have a little
it's
think.
meaningless. It
Very good.
It was tat.
Well, from my perspective, we have both pig information from Ada there, very informative pig. We also had a pig providing the pig's account of being a pig.
Right.
And if you don't mind me saying, Chazz, you, sir, are being a bit pig-headed.
You're being a bit of a pigot, Chaz.
I would also accept bigot.
I'm
Well,
quite
overall,
angry right now.
I've been putting together a little document during this piece of show, and what I'm trying. Arguably, my accent is beginning to slip a little bit now that it's been nearly an hour.
Watch out, you're in Dr. Gazpacho territory.
His accent was flawless, and you know it.
Well, what I would like to say is, while I do appreciate the difficulties of presenting a finely balanced news program, I would like to say, while I think you have more or less succeeded, I mean, it's not exactly good quality, but it is balanced.
Oh, yes, balanced.
But it is not recommended.
What?
But what I'd like to say is, we will have to, with a few problems. Largely, this channel seems to have a monopoly, in the recyclable material-based news network coverage. Now, that is obviously quite a big problem.
Whoa, that's not true at all. That's not
surely
true.
not. Like,
That's not true.
that's a whole USP.
There's a whole other YouTube
Well,
channel called the
right,
Cardboard
you're-
Box News Network. I
You
think
say
they're a bit
USP.
Yes.
Yeah, fair. That is one way of putting it, I suppose. Yes. I can see why you would put it that way. But I'm afraid, for balance, I don't think that will fly with my bosses.
Well, who are you? What else are you gonna get? A competing news network?
It's not going to happen. I don't
Well-
think.
Well, Maybe I'll start one myself.
Oh, yeah? And who are you going to get to front it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know anybody, actually.
Exactly. Nobody is going to take down the Cardboard News Network.
No one.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right. Then to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives. Welcome to the Foil News Network.
Ali, I'm gonna watch it.
No! Don't watch it!
It looks good.
It's a
It looks
direct
good.
competitor, Luke.
It's when's it going to be on? Sunday, 6 p.m.
No,
I'm there.
don't give him the time slot. How about that?
Sundays at
just
6
just
p.m.,
don't tell him
guys.
when it's
I'm
on.
gonna
How
be
about
there.
that? We can just not
gonna
tell him
watch
when
it.
it's on.
It looks good.
It
looks
doesn't
good,
look
guys.
that good.
Oh no, Chazz!
What?
I can hear something outside. Oh god, it doesn't sound good. It sounds a bit like a protest.
What do you mean?
Oh no, it's a protest.
There's a protest.
Oh no! What are they saying? What do the signs say?
One says
They
boo.
say,
One
boo,
says fuck foil.
What else is there?
One says free the pig.
Yeah, there's free the pig. There's cancel Martin again. Oh, this is not good. No foil news.
Oh.
Foil should stay in the ground.
The lines are being drawn in the sand like moths and wasps.
Wait, we were the moths and the wasps all along, I suppose.
I suppose so. Well,
Martin is not going to be happy with this.
I don't think so.
Protests aren't allowed.
No. Well, that takes us to the end of this week's Cardboard News Network. We will be back next week with more Cardboard News Network. If you want to catch up on previous episodes, you can find them on the Cardboard News Network's YouTube channel. And even more specially, the Cardboard News Network is having a live show in March. So a very special live show. So please do book your tickets to that. It'd be lovely to have some regulars, some friendly faces there to see us. Until then, a big thank you from all of us here at the Cardboard News Network. Thank you to all of our guests, Martin Willis, Cat Bond, Ada Player. No thank you to Kit, your pond life, Kit, and I will crush you under my heel if it's the last thing I do. So, a big thank you from myself, Luke Rollason, Georgia House. We wish you a very pleasant evening. Ta-ra for now.
And a happy
Good night.
new year.
It's not a new year.